Let's cross now to Latin America Analyst Javier Farje, who's in London for us. Welcome back to the programme, Javier. Now, first of all, it's been 25 years of stalled talks. So why now? Why are we seeing this deal being struck now?
Because of the geopolitics of the situation. The European Union needs to establish this kind of agreements in order to curtail the threat of tariffs from the United States and the increasing influence of China in Latin American markets. Only in 2024, China inaugurated a mega port in the coastal city of Lima in Shanghai in order to link it via a rail to the Atlantic Ocean, from the Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean. So that influence has pushed both the European Union and Mercosur to reach this agreement. Now, there's been also, as you say, disagreement between in some countries in the European Union, like France, Hungary, Poland, Ireland, and Austria, because of the agricultural exports that Mercosur has. But now it's crucial. In fact, and let me quote very briefly what Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission, said, our signal to the rest of the world is clear. The EU and Mercosur are choosing cooperation over competition and partnership over polarization. It's a very clear message saying, look, we are not in favor of tariffs as punishment for political decisions. We need this agreement in order to be able to expand our markets and counter a fight, if you like, the threats that China has in relation to is present in Latin America and the United States, which actually has already shown their opposition to this agreement.
Now, we're seeing major backlash from European farmers. How damaging is this deal for the agricultural sector in Europe?
Not very, because the agreement has some clauses which are very important. According to the agreement, if prices of exports from Mercosur to the European Union in certain sectors like agriculture are 10% cheaper than the products produced actually in Europe, there will be an investigation. In the case of France, for example, which is very worried about the agricultural sector, if prices are 5% cheaper in terms of certain agricultural products, cheaper from Mercosur to the European Union in relation to those things produced in the European Union, then the tariffs will go back. So there's some safeguards which protect farmers in the European Union, which are subsidized by the European Union anyway, which doesn't happen in Mercosur. Mercosur cannot afford to subsidize the farmers, whereas the European Union has a system of subsidies which protects their agricultural sector. So it doesn't make much sense for them to protest because there are safeguards not only within the European Union structure, but also in the actual agreement, which prevents agricultural products exported from Mercosur to the European Union to be much cheaper than those which are actually produced in the European Union. So these safeguards should be enough for agricultural sector in France, in Hungary, in Ireland, in Poland, and Austria to accept this agreement, which will still have to be approved by the European Union, the European Parliament anyway, and at the moment they are split 50-50.
We'll leave it there for now. Javier Farje in London, thank you very much for your analysis.